Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Welcome all of the newbies to this new rep training. I am so excited to see so many new faces. It's a super busy, hyped. My son used the word hyped the other day. I have no idea where that came from. He said, I feel hyped. And so I guess that's how I feel. I feel hyped about this Zoom. And so I am not going to do a whole lot of talking, but I am Valerie Reynolds. I am probably one of your uplines or a sideline sister of yours. But I'm actually going to give the reins to two of the leaders that are on my personal downline, Elizabeth Brotherton, who's been with me since basically day one, almost 5 years in the business. She is killer. And if there's anybody who has issues with how do I fit this into a busy, chaotic schedule, she's your go-to girl, because she's not going to let you have any excuses, because you can have a hectic, busy life with full-time job, and you can still be a rock star in this business. And then we have Helen Mendoza, who's been in the business for I think a little over a year, and she is a diamond on our team. And she is one who has just an amazing story, has a fitness background, and she's gone through some ups, she's gone through some downs, and she is vulnerable, and we'll share that story with you. But she is right now just turned on the fire and is killing it with enrollments, and is almost boxed for double diamond. So we're super excited for her. So I'm going to let them take over. So Liz, if you wouldn't mind giving like a 60-second story, and then Helen will do 60-second story, and then I'm just going to mute myself, and Liz, I'll just kind of let you take over since you're kind of veteran.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so I am Elizabeth Brotherton. I am a double diamond. I've been with the company since 2015. I joined the business just to make some extra money, pay off some credit card debt, some student loans, just, the normal, don't want to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. And then about 8 months into the business was when my son, he was 23 months old, was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and that became like a huge financial struggle for us. And so I was already working the business, but then my why changed. So instead of it just being the credit card debt, the student loans, it became, I got to make a lot more money in order to pay for his medications and things like that. And so that is basically me in a nutshell. And from there, I've been sustaining a really good income every single month. He's taken care of every month. There's no problems there. Debt's paid for. I mean, like, we're doing really good. And at this point, I just want to help other people, and I just want to keep pushing for more, because life will always throw you curveballs, and you can never be more prepared. All right, Helen, go ahead and give them your 60-second spiel.
Okay, I'll try really quick. So my name is Helen Mendoza. I am a double diamond. I will be. I'm a diamond. And I've been with the company for a year and a half already. When I started this business, in all honesty, I didn't see the potential in the business. I joined because I wanted $50. I was already trying the products. I loved the products. And it wasn't until life got hard and I was struggling in my relationship, financially, and all of the other things, it's when I started seeing the potential in this business. So I lost my train of thought, but that's why I started. I was looking to making $50 to $100 maybe, and I went from being a full-time personal trainer to a full-time stay-at-home mom. I felt like I needed something to sustain me in the time that I was going to be a stay-at-home mom. And throughout time, I just saw the vision in this business, and I ranked pretty quickly in the business, and had ups and downs, but here I am today, so thankful and looking forward to helping even more women, paying this opportunity forward, and just, yeah, that's pretty much it for me right now.
Perfect. Okay, so we're just going to jump on into this training. We're going to try to get through it as quickly as possible. That way we're not just on here forever. So I'm going to start, first of all, with your mindset, really and truly. The biggest thing in this business is to stay positive and to really just, I don't know how else to say it, just be so stinking positive. If you have those doubts, and we all have them, and when they start seeping into your mind, like, seriously, it's just going to bring you down this tunnel, right? Like down this hole. And the most, oh goodness, hang on, I have a call coming in. Let me see if I can stop this thing. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Okay. So the first thing, like I was saying, is just staying super positive. So this business, it can really bring you into these days where you feel like you're doing all this work and you're not getting any customers or you're not getting any responses. And that's normal for all of us to feel that way. But the most important thing is to just stay positive with it and, be consistent. And if you have even a little bit of those doubts, just talk to your leader about it, talk to your mentor about it, because it's normal. And personal development is something that we really encourage you to do, even starting early on. So as you know, I've been with the business for about 5 years, and that is not something that we did early on. I mean, that was not something that we were told to do. We didn't know how important it was. And, looking back now, that's definitely something, if you start early on, you're going to keep yourself in a really good headspace. So what I mean by personal development, that could be something simple like a podcast that you like, or sorry, my husband just walked in and totally threw me off my game. I'm like, so it could be a podcast. It could be a book. Some of my favorites, Val actually has a podcast. I'll throw hers out there. It's called the Beautifully Enough Podcast, and I absolutely love it. And another thing that I do is I downloaded Audible, and I absolutely love having books that I can listen to, like the 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. It's really good for like getting you into action. So when you have those days where you don't really feel like doing anything, then she teaches you ways, the 5-second rule, counting down from 5 and just really going in at it. There's a couple other ones that I really like what is it? My goodness, the Millionaire Mind. I can't remember. Val's in the chat. She's going to get my back because I just went blank on what it's called. Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. Thank you so much. So there's so many things out there that you can plug into for personal development. I guarantee you, if you think that you have it all together and you think you don't need it, you're probably someone who really does need it, because that is, I'm not going to lie, that's how I was whenever everyone really started encouraging the personal development. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't have time for that. I don't need that. I'm good. I'm positive. But let me tell you, we all could use a little taste of that. Okay. So let me just make sure I didn't miss anything there that I was going to say. Just first of all, trying to stay positive, staying close to the fire, staying close to your leaders, keeping that positive mindset, asking your leader if you feel like you aren't doing so good, like you're feeling those doubts, just ask, just stay plugged in. The worst thing you can do is start straying away and not talking to your leader and just, going quiet. That is the absolute worst thing you can do for your business. The best thing to do is say, I'm feeling defeated. I'm feeling like I can't get anyone. I'm feeling this. And then we're going to come back to you and give you ideas on how you can do other things or switch things around. So don't worry if you are having those feelings, but do not disappear because you're having those feelings. The best thing to do is go talk about it with your leader and get help. Okay. So we're going to go into your daily non-negotiables next. And I'm going to tie in your daily non-negotiables with the training page. So as you all should have been added, there is a page on Facebook. It's called Making New Diamonds Training Page. You all should have been added to it. If you have not, you need to let us know. We'll add you to it. But this is a very important page because it has literally all the information you could possibly think of in there. And you don't have to just go all through it in one day, but it's there for you to kind of go through. It has your daily non-negotiables in there. It has before and after pictures. It has product example posts. It has opportunity example posts. It even has a video on how to operate the dang page. I mean, like, it literally has everything in there that you could need to go, work your business if you felt like you needed more information. If you're a green, when you did your personality test, all my greens, you guys are probably the ones that have already looked through that entire page. My greens, that's what y'all do. So, but if you're not a green, go look through that page. You need to take time every single day and read the post until you've really, made yourself comfortable with that page, because that's what it's there for. It's there to help train you. So from that, we're going to hop on over to some of the non-negotiables, which, like I said, they are in that training page. In my opinion, there are 4 that are super, super, super important. There's actually 6 that are in that training page. Okay. And some of mine, I kind of combined them together anyway. But what we're going to really focus on today are 4 of them. One of them, and if you have your notepad, write this down. This is where you want to take notes. These are things that you should do every day. If you hear someone say, did you do your daily non-negotiables? Did you do your NNs? Okay, this is what we're talking about. These are things that you should be doing every single day to work your business, to be successful in this business. Okay, number 1, message. And we're going to elaborate, so you can leave a spot underneath it for when we elaborate. Number 2, post and stories. And I put those together. In the training page, they're separate, but for tonight, they're together, post and stories. Number 3, host a post. I don't even know if that's on the daily non-negotiables, but we are putting it on ours now. And number 4 is follow up. Okay, so those are the 4 that we're really going to talk about tonight. And we'll kind of go over the other 2 that aren't really highlighted here, but they're in the training page also. I'm going to go ahead and start it off since I'm already talking. I'm going to get started on the first 2, and then Helen's going to talk about 2. So first, I'm going to dig right into host a post. Okay, so those of you that are new, you might be like, what the heck is a host a post? Or you might have done a host a post for one of us, and then your host a post, kicked butt, and then you signed up yourself. But a host a post is when you ask someone if they would be willing to make a post on their wall for you. And we usually have giveaways. So you can offer them to be entered into a giveaway. You can ask them just as a favor for them to host a post for you. It doesn't really matter, but you're asking them to host a post for you. Now, you can just send out a message to someone asking them to host a post. You can make a giveaway post on your wall that says like, hey, we're giving away $100 in cash on Friday. Comment below if you want an entry, right? So that's one way to get a lead. And then you can message those people and ask them if they would host a post for you. And then you can also have a conversation with someone and it kind of stops, right? Like we've all been there. You're talking to someone about the products and then you give them the pricing and then they go, okay, well, I'm going to have to think about that, right? So that is a good time to say, okay, sure, I understand if you need to think about that. But in the meantime, would you be willing to make a post for me on your wall to help me out? And I'll even add you into our $100 cash giveaway this Friday. Would you be willing to do that for an entry? Okay, so this is why whenever we ask you to send us screenshots when you're new, we want you to send us screenshots, because if you were talking to someone and they said, okay, let me think about it, and you responded with, okay, well, you just lost the opportunity to ask them to host a post for you. Or you send out an initial reach out message and they go, no, thank you. And you're like, okay, bye. Again, you just lost the opportunity to ask them to host a post for you, because most people, I would say 98%, they're going to say yes. It is a rare amount that's going to go, no, I don't want to do that. That rarely happens. And if it does, who cares? Keep going. Okay. It doesn't matter. But the most important thing is that we always have something else that we can offer, right? And I'm not saying that we're being pushy and we're not, bugging the crap out of them. We're not doing that, but we're just giving them another option. And who wouldn't want an extra $100 in cash right now in the first place? Pretty much everybody. So they're going to be willing to do that. So on the host a post, here's the thing, y'all, most of y'all are new. And if you're new, I'm not going to be mean and be like, you have to get, like 10 host a post up a day, but 10 is like the lucky magic number that some of the higher ups in the company are saying, if you can get 10 up a day, like your business is going to be on fire, killing it. Okay. But if you're new, don't kill yourself trying to get 10 up a day. If you could get 3 to 5 I mean, that's great if you're brand new. 3 to 5 is like amazing, okay? And as you get better and you keep doing this on a regular basis, you're going to get 5, you're going to get 8, you're going to get 10, and it's not going to be as hard and it'll get easier. So just kind of write that down in your notes. Like, okay, so 3 to 5 host to post a day is pretty good for me because I'm brand new. If you are a little bit, in the business a little bit longer, you're at like 3 to 6 months or so, let's be shooting for like 5 to 10 because we've been in long enough. We can really try to do a little bit more. So on the host to post, I think that's pretty much everything. I'm looking at my notes to make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh, one more super, super important thing. And this is when I said I was going to tie together another non-negotiable. If you are new and you do a host to post, we have several different types of host to post. You can do a product, an opportunity, or a giveaway host to post. And what that means is if someone says they're willing to make a post for you and you do a giveaway host to post, you're going to expand your network. So now you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, right? So now all these people that were the friends of the friend, you're going to add all of those people as friends to your Facebook. Now you've just expanded your network by a ton because all of these new people that were your friends' friends just commented because they want in the giveaway. Then you can go message them and ask them if they would be willing to host a post for you as well. And I know that kind of might be getting a little confusing there, so I hope I didn't lose everybody, but it's just a way that you can break into the network of other people. That is the whole point of host to post, because if you just continue to advertise our products on your page and ask the same people all the time, then you're not going to get new people in your network, right? So it's so important to add new friends. And this is an easy way to add friends without looking like a creeper, right? You're not going and adding strangers. You're adding people who said, me, I want info. Okay, so that's kind of nice there. Okay, moving on. I don't want to talk about host to post all night long. The other thing I'm going to talk about is following up. Okay, now Helen's going to hop in a minute. She's going to talk about messaging and posts and stories, but following up is just as important as sending the messages. She's going to talk about that, but on average, it takes 7 times for you to follow up with someone for anything in the world, not just at work stuff, for anything in the world. 7 times for you to follow up with someone before they finally decide to do whatever it was you're asking them to do. So if you're asking someone if they want to join the business and they're like, no, and then you ask them again later, and no, not right now. Like, I'm thinking about it, but I don't think, you got to write them down. They're on your list. Okay. You need to have a list of all of your potential distributors, your potential customers, because you have to follow up. I want y'all to hop in the chat, and if you were someone that had to be followed up with like more than once, just put that in there and be like, me, I had to be followed up with like 20 times before I was a distributor. I'm just curious, just so people can see. But the other thing is, what was I going to say? I kind of lost my train of thought there on the follow-ups. See, shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have asked for an activity. Then I distracted myself. Okay, Helen, I'm going to have you hop on because I need to remember where I was going with my follow-up thought. And I'm going to let you go ahead and start with messages, and then you can do the post and the stories, because Helen kills it at stories.
Okay, can y'all hear me? Yes. All right, so I'm gonna go into sending messages. And so when I started this business, I actually was not a fan of messages. When I moved up to my first rank, which is Ruby, I was not sending out messages. I was posting a lot and doing a lot of follow-ups, but I was not sending out messages. But I got this like fire when I ranked, that I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna start doing these sending out messages thing that they're all talking about, and that, so because it scared me. I wasn't sending out messages because it scared me. And I started sending out messages to people who were already interacting with my post, who were interested in whatever I was posting, whether it was a product, whether it was a business post to join my team. And so I would send out messages. And let me tell you that it was not my favorite thing, but when I started doing that every single day, following up, sending out messages to those people who were already interested in things that I was talking about, I don't know what happened. And then in a matter of like 2 months after ranking to my first rank, which is Ruby, I went diamond. And you guys, but I was sending out like 10, 15, 20 messages a day. And I was following up with all of these people, and I was sending out new messages. To people. Some of the girls that signed up as distributors were because I sent out a message, just a random message. I had already been talking to her, interacting with her. We've been friends for a little while. And I just asked, hey girl, would you be interested in becoming a brand rep, maybe making some extra money? And one of them said, yes, I want extra money. And then another girl was like, no, not right now. I followed up, and she finally signed up a few months later. But sending out messages will help out so much, and it's so important. The reason why I felt like I didn't like messages was because I felt like I was being pushy, or like I was just another person who was trying to sell something on social media. But what changed was me interacting with these people first. So liking their pictures, commenting on their pictures. Hey girl, like you look so pretty, or such a cute outfit or shoes or whatever. Just have a conversation with them. You don't necessarily have to send them out a cold message, because cold messages are no fun, just FYI. And we don't want to do that. We don't want you to do that. We don't want you to be another person on social media who's sending out a cold message to people, hey girl, buy this from me. No, we want you to create friendships. We want you to expand your network. We want for people to look at you as a human, as a genuine human who is looking to help other people. So interact with people. I think those two go hand in hand, just interacting and messaging, because when you create that bond with that person, or just that trust with that person, they will be most likely to do something for you, like trying out the product, maybe signing up as a distributor, maybe hosting a post for you, but you've already created a friend on social media, which is what we want. And okay, so I think that's all I have for messages. So let me see. I hope that helps. Okay, so post and stories. Post and stories. I think that is your open sign. For me, that is my open sign. We are a social media based business. So if you're not posting every day, if you're not letting people know what you have, as for products, or as the opportunity, there is no way that people will know what you have to offer. In your stories, you never know who's watching. I like watching other people's stories a lot. So there's always so many people that will watch your stories, and I think it's just a fun way to let people know that you're human. You're not just posting about your business, your products. With these posts and stories, you can have fun with this. If you're into fitness, post about your workout, like just finished my workout. If you have a goal, like I want to lose 10 pounds, just post about that. And also post about your post, but post about your products. Don't be afraid to talk about your products. Don't be afraid to talk about your business, because that's the only way that people on your social media will know what you have to offer. If you're not constant with your post, there is no way that you're going to grow your business. And another thing I want to say on this with the stories and the posts, I think we overthink it. There is no right photo or whatever template that you post on your story that will make someone buy from you. And I'll say that again. There is no right template or picture that will sell your product. People will buy from someone they like and trust. So with these stories, you're creating trust, you're creating friendships, because you're showing up every single day. You're showing up and you're putting up your open sign on these stories. If you like coffee, post about yourself making that coffee. Drinking your coffee, tell them how it makes you feel. Tell them all of the benefits. One day yes, one day don't post about the benefits. One day just post a selfie with your coffee. So just break it up. Show, if you have kids, show your kids, talk about your kids. Ask for tips, because people love to give tips on stories. So add polls, just have fun with it. You don't necessarily have to put those like pretty templates, because I'm not creative like that. I'm not. So I usually take ideas from other people, but I do post every single day. I post every single day, and I recently started getting out of my comfort zone and just putting my face on social media, like actually talking to people and just having a conversation. Sometimes I get on there and talk about my products. Sometimes I get on there to talk about a sale, like we're having this amazing sale right now. So I get on there, I talk to people, and it's just a way of you creating trust with these people. So yeah, posts and stories, think of it as your open sign for business. We're a social media based business. So if you don't show up on your stories, if you don't show up and then randomly just, hey, we have a sale going on, who wants to buy? Are you gonna buy from that person? I don't think so. I know I wouldn't buy from a person who shows up maybe once or twice a week, and when they do show up, it's only to sell some. So just show up. Break up your posts between life, hobbies, your products, the opportunity, and yeah, go into that Making New Diamonds group and get ideas on how to post. Maybe you're somebody that is just not creative. Maybe like I was at the beginning, like I was overthinking and I was telling myself, I'm not creative enough. I don't know how to make these pretty pictures. I don't know how to do this. But I started looking at other people's stuff. I started looking into the group pages that we have, and I started to get ideas. And every single day when I wanted to post something, I would go on there and just get an idea and just kind of make it my own. And that's how I would post. That's how I started. And then today is just like super easy for me to just get on there and post myself drinking my coffee, because I love my coffee. But yeah, that is what I have to say about posts and stories. The most important thing is breaking up your posts. Don't post about it works, and then that's it. Post about everything, like hobbies. Find something that you enjoy doing. Maybe it's cooking, maybe it's makeup, maybe it's talking about a book, maybe you like reading, maybe you like whatever you like. Just break up your post. That is the most important thing when it comes to posting, and actually posting is what is going to get you, for people to look at your stuff and be interested in the thing. So just be consistent. Consistency is going to get you, consistency is what's going to get you people to trust you and like you and want to buy from you. Yeah. Anything else over?
No, I think that was good. The other thing, kind of like what she was saying about like breaking up the posts between the different things, opportunity, business, lifestyle. Another thing that's important is not to post really close together, like back to back. Like if you're one of those people that you post every 10 minutes, then you're probably going to not have any of your stuff seen on Facebook, because it's going to affect the Facebook algorithm. If you're one of those people that like to share everything that you come across, and so you're sharing recipes and sharing the news and you're sharing everything that you see, you just hit that share button like every time you see it. And so when you go to your page, it's just like share every 10 minutes. You might notice that nobody's commenting and nobody's liking those posts, because it's messing with the Facebook algorithm again. So it's not that we're trying to be mean when we're like, don't share a bunch of stuff and don't post so much. We're just trying to say, if you want your business to be successful, you have to follow the darn Facebook algorithm. And unfortunately, there is a such thing as a Facebook algorithm. And what we have learned in our 5 years, and it changes, but as of right now, what we've learned in our 5 years of doing this is that if you wait about 3 to 4 hours between a post, you're going to have better visibility of that post. And you can also, if you're a story person, then you may not have to post 3 and 4 times a day. You're in your stories. People are seeing that. But if you're maybe not in your stories, like, I'm going to be honest, me and Helen were opposite. Helen is in her stories, and she may not post 3 and 4 times a day, but she is in her stories every day, a lot. Like, her stories are bomb. Okay. I, on the other hand, I don't feel like I have enough time for the stories. I try to get them up when I can, but I make darn sure I get my posts up a day. So if you feel like you're so new, you're like, oh my God, this is too much stuff, then just pick one to start with, and you'll get better as you go. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just pick one. Make sure you're posting, or you're doing stories. And if you're doing stories, you still want to post something on your page at least once a day. So that's kind of important there. Another thing that I was going to hit on too, when Helen was talking about commenting and liking, the reason that's important, not just because you want to build that friendship, because that is super important, so you don't feel like you're just cold messaging people, but when you interact on other people's page, then they see your stuff. Again, it goes back to Facebook algorithm. The more you interact and you like and you comment, then they now see the stuff you are posting. So if all you do is post and you never interact on anyone else's stuff, again, you may find that your stuff has no interaction on it because you are not interacting on anyone else's stuff. Okay, this is where you might hear people say, go send people birthday messages, right? Like, you know how you get the little notification that it's like 15 people's birthday today, and you could go like Facebook message them, not just on their wall, but in Messenger, like go say happy birthday. And that actually boosts interaction. Those people will now see your page. So there's little tricks, and things that you can do to help boost interaction on your own page. Lastly, and we're about done, we're going to wrap it up. Helen also made me think about how whenever she was saying like nobody wants to cold message, like we don't like that. You don't want to just like go add new friends and message them. That's not cool. You don't want to just message a bunch of random people. This is where Host a Post is bomb, you guys, because again, you are doing Host a Post. Yes, you're adding new friends, and yes, you're messaging those people off the Host a Post, but they're asking for it. Okay. They're asking for it. So you are going to message people. You're going to get those 10 to 20 messages a day like that. And they're to people who wanted you to message them. Okay. So you're not going to have that yucky feeling in your gut where you're like, oh, I don't really want to message them. This is a great way to like break the ice and start your business doing Host a Post, because now you're messaging people who are saying, me, I want what you have. I want information. And you don't have to feel so awkward sending them a message, right? So that was just the other thing that she brought to my attention that I wanted to add in there. But other than that, was there any questions over here in the chat? I think you guys were kind of answering them as they came out. Or if there was anything down.
Yeah, I was going through the chat and I think we got them, but in case somebody was not keeping up, because you guys did this super quick. You guys are.
I was trying. I was on a time frame.
I talk too much. to do trainings. Okay, let's see. Okay, people were talking about like so when you add host to post friends, this is an issue that she was having, and I answered it, but maybe you have a different take or just you want to speak it out loud. So she was talking about she would add those people as friends, but then she found out some of those people just would post stuff that she either wasn't in tune with or they were kind of creepy and, you know, that sort of stuff. And so she was having a hard time commenting genuine comments on stuff like that. So what would you, she asked, can they follow, like instead of sending the friend request? So what would you recommend?
So I'm assuming this was like where she was just trying to expand her network, and so she was going through and just adding friends, is my understanding.
From a host to post.
Oh, it was from a host to post. Okay. So here is my rule of thumb on that. So I add people from the host to post to send them the message that they were interested on. And at this point, I don't feel like interacting with them is that important. You've already made that connection in Messenger. You've already sent them a message because they asked for information about the product or the business or whatever it was. So at this point, interacting with them on Facebook isn't as important because you've already established that conversation with them. Now, if you have the conversation with them and they ended up being a jerk to you, they were ugly, they were rude, it was not a positive experience, just go ahead and unfriend them at that point. I have done that. I've added people and they've ended up saying, you know, something rude to me, and I just don't have time for that. And I just unfriend them and move on to the next person because I don't want to keep them on my Facebook either. I mean, I feel you there. You don't want negative Nancy's on your page. So I don't know if I'm really helping answer your question, but if you're adding these people off of host to post, they're asking for information. So, you know, you're already doing your job of messaging them that information. I don't feel like you have to continue being all social butterfly with them necessarily. It's not the same as if you were expanding your network and adding friends, like say you went to your mom and you added some of her friends to expand your network. You would probably want to interact with those people. You wouldn't want to just go message those people that you added. You want to interact with them for like a solid month or so before you message them. And that would be different because then if you added one of those friends and you noticed all they're posting is like a bunch of like hateful stuff and cuss words and devil and blah, blah, blah. Well, just go delete them. You know, you don't have to continue being friends with them.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty much what we said. Okay. Another question was, some of them I got privately, and so I won't share who asked it, but these were questions that I think other people need to hear. She said that she got a few people who said that they were interested in the products, but then unfortunately said that it was too expensive.
Okay, so that will happen sometimes too. I personally, I don't feel like our products are expensive at all. That's just me. And I'm not like this rich person, okay? But I've seen other people's products and I think ours are very well priced, but that's besides the point. So if anyone ever says that it's out of their price range or something, I ask them to host a post. Okay, if they're really like, if they're a hard no, like there's no more convincing, there's no more, I always like say, for example, I was offering them a triple threat, you know, like $100-something product package. And they're like, whoa, that's too expensive. Then I always immediately say, oh, well, we can break it down. You know, we can start with just one product. Like, what about just the TFX? Okay. So if that still doesn't work, or if it was already just one product that was super cheap and that was too much for them, I would do host to post at that point.
Okay, perfect. And I also advised to work with your sponsor if that happens. So if you are talking with your sponsor, if you're new and they're telling you to send the screenshots, allow them to walk you through the conversations, because if you were my girl, we automatically go distributor route and we at least give information. And because even if they still say no to the distributor starter kit, at least you've planted the seed, and then you can still ask them to host a post too. Okay, so Helen, I'm going to ask you this one since you're the story girl. Somebody did ask, how often should they post in their stories?
So you literally do it whenever it's your business. So you open up your business at your own time. For me right now, I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I literally wake up and make my story in the morning because I'll post about my coffee. So there is no right time. There is no right time for you to post. It's just doing it. Just make your post. But the way I post, if this will help, I usually make my first post like around between 9 and 10, and then I will post later on during my day. Let's say I do a workout like around 5, then I'll post a little quick video of my workout. And then if I'm out and about that day, or if I'm my baby maybe is being crazy and I need some more energy, then I'll post something drinking some keto energy or something like that, or drinking another cup of coffee. Don't judge me. Something like that, just to kind of break up my day. So it just depends. If you work and you're on your way to work and you have your cup of coffee, then post with your cup of coffee, or here goes another 8 hours, like this will keep me up, or whatever. If you have a snack or something, post about your snack, girl. So yeah, that's really what that's how I do my posting. I do morning and then my workouts, and then if I'm out and about that day, then I'll post. If you did your makeup, then take a picture of your selfie, and I did my makeup today. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Right now we have a sale going on, so post about yourself, break up your posts, but make sure you're doing it. Make sure you're just being consistent.
Yes. And let's see. So what else? Some I can answer real quick. Somebody asked how often are these cash giveaways? We try to do monthly giveaways, and we have been combining with other sidelines, and that's how we're able to make them really, really large amounts of money. Like this month was $1,200. Our team is responsible for 300 of that. So there are other teams that are putting money into this, and that's how we're able to get this really big amount. And so just keep track on the team page, and we'll post the new giveaways every single month. So we'll have something brand new come June. So right now we're still dealing with the May one. And we had some conversation. My girl, Leah, said, yes, even if it's another language. I even joke with some of my Spanish speakers. I said, send me the screenshot anyways. We were talking about this with Liz, how she was like, if you're sending screenshots, we can walk you through the conversations. Like, you are not bothering us. Liz just said in the chat, like, we don't get annoyed as your sponsor. We actually get very concerned when we don't get the screenshots daily from you guys. Liz, you have something you want to add to that?
No, that was exactly what I was going to say, is that if we are getting screenshots, we know you're working, and that is like, it brings joy. Like, it's like nerdiness over here. Like, we're like, yay, we have workers, like people are working. So if we don't hear from you, we don't see screenshots, then we're like, well, I guess they're not doing what we asked them to. I mean, like, we don't have any other way of knowing if you're working or not, if we're not getting checked in with every day, if we're not getting asked questions, if we're not getting screenshots, because you're brand spanking new. If you're within your first week, you shouldn't even know the answers to the questions that they're asking you. I mean, you really shouldn't, unless you're so stinking green, you just read all night long every document there was. You shouldn't even know the answer. So we want you to ask us, because we want to help you. And yes, we know, I've had a lot of my distributors say, but we want to learn, we want to become independent, and you will. I promise you that you will, but it'll take a little bit of time and seeing how we make these conversations flow first. And then if I could just add one last thing, because I know I got a little distracted on the follow-ups earlier. The other thing I was going to say about follow-ups, that you want to have your list. You want to make sure that you know who you're talking to, so that way you don't forget to follow up with them. And that leads into, you might say, well, when do I follow up with them? Like, when? So if you had a conversation today and that conversation died, and when we say it died, that doesn't mean that they told you no and that they told you to go to heck. They just stopped talking to you. You sent a message and it just stopped. It just ended. It doesn't mean they hate you. They probably forgot they were talking to you because the phone rang or their kid yelled at them or whatever. So it doesn't mean that you just lost a sale and the whole world's coming to an end. It means they probably got distracted and they forgot to respond. So you follow up the next day. We follow a 1-1-1 rule. What that means is, if the conversation ends, you follow up in a day. And if that conversation starts again that day and ends again that day, where, you know, got cut off, you follow up again the next day. Okay. But if you follow up the next day and they ignore you again or don't see your message, then you can wait a couple days. The 111 is supposed to be 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. Okay. It doesn't have to be, it's not hardcore. Okay. There's nothing written in stone. So what I do is I'll do 1 day. I might wait 3 days, and then I might do the 1 week, and then I might do 15 days, and then I might do a month. Okay. So there's nothing that's stuck in, you know, stone. You don't want to follow up with them 15 times in a day. Like, hello, did you see my message? Hello. I mean, that's annoying. Okay. But if you just message them back the next day and say, hey, I don't know if my message went through. I don't know if you saw that, you know, what were your thoughts on that? And again, send us a screenshot and say, this conversation ended yesterday. How would I follow up today? And we're going to tell you exactly how to follow up.
Yes, perfect. Okay, real quick, I'm going to share something with my screen just because we were talking about the team page. So you guys nod if you tell me that you can see my screen real quick. Yes. Are you guys good? Can you see my screen? Okay, thank you, Amber. Okay, so real quick, this is the training page that Liz was referring to. And so I pulled it up just to show you one quick resource. If you go to photos and you go to the albums, there are, it's not all the products, but it's a lot of the popular ones that you're gonna have conversations with. So if you ever do get stuck, or maybe you feel comfortable with your conversations, your sponsor has helped you for a few weeks, and so you kind of get the feel of like what to say, but you get stuck and you're like, wait, somebody asked me about the lash serum and we haven't had a conversation on the lash serum yet. I don't know what to say. This right here, all the albums are separated by product. So you have Energy, Confianza, Fat Fighter, Skinny Brew, introductions for new distributors. If you want different ways to post about your business, look at these samples. But if you go through, let's say brow and lash serum, okay, you want to check that one out. You click it. Most of these product albums are going to have results photos. Sorry if I'm slow. Results photos. It's going to have product photos in it. And it's going to have, some of them are screenshots. So for example, you can click this one right here with Whitney. If it looks like a post, it's because it's meant to be an inspirational post, kind of like what Helen was talking about with her stories. She said she would just go and look at inspiration from other people. So you can click on some of these screenshots that look like actual posts and then reword it, use a different photo because you're obviously not Whitney. So use a different photo from the album or from Pinterest or whatever you find, and just use the wording and make it your own caption. So if you ever get stuck or you're like, today I want to post about the lash serum, you can go to this. You can see right here, Liz has made some posts, has no photo, and you can just say, looking for lash models for my new serum, 5 spots available, any takers. Super easy. Now, the other thing is some of them in the descriptions will have the actual summary of that product. So if somebody asks you, hey, tell me about that lash serum, well, right here, it's an intro, but you can just edit it to make it your own. This says, thank you for taking a look at our lash and brow serum. It's full of keratins, peptides, blah, 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 blah. Results in less than a month. Does it sound like something you would want? And when they say yes, oh, well, here's the pricing message. So to be a VIP customer, here it is. You just copy and paste it. When they say yes, oh, here's the seal the deal message. Great, what's your sell? I can make you a shopping cart link. It's all there. And if it's not in the description, it's going to be in the comments, okay? If you find one that doesn't have it, tell us so we can go add it. But we made that just in case, for example, Liz does her PT out of town. Sometimes she doesn't have service. So if you ever get stuck, but you've been doing this for a few months, and you're like, I just don't know how to talk about hydrate. I just don't know how to talk to somebody about Fat Fighters. We haven't done a combo like that. Well, go check that photo album out and see if there's a description there that maybe you can simply copy and paste. Now, that's not meant for you to not ask your sponsor questions, because there's still ways like where we tend to add a question to everything. We never say, let you know. You know, if somebody asks, what's your website? We never just give the website. I had that conversation with somebody today. You want to give good customer service and, you know, go over the conversation with them so they don't have to do any of the work themselves. So they're just little things here and there that when you're new, you don't realize that it's not a mistake. It's just something that you can be more efficient at doing. Whereas some of us that have been in for a few years, we've sent the website before. When somebody said, hey, what's your website? Yeah, we'll send it. We made that mistake 5 years ago, and they never messaged us back. And we've just learned to be more efficient with signing up customers. We've been more efficient with our conversations, with doing things like ending it with a question, never saying, let me know what you think, because they will never let you know what they think. It's always, hey, how does that sound to you? Give them a yes or no question. Give them something to answer instead of just let me know, and then you kill your own conversation. So they're not mistakes. They're just more effective ways to handle your conversations where you have a higher signing rate. And that's just because we made the mistakes before you did. So you don't have to go through that process anymore. So just use your sponsors. That's probably what I'm going to say, is just use your sponsors. I didn't mean to hijack your Zoom. Do you have any final words before we're done? Because that was an awesome training. You guys tell them great job. Are you good? Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Well, if you have any questions, you are welcome to message me or your sponsors. I did record this, and I am going to stop the recording and get it posted in the team page. And you guys have a great night, and we will see you guys later. Okay, bye.